Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother, Love, Ruth, John, and Mark. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Mother, 1952 to 1953, Part 76. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, December 1st, 1952. Dearest Mother, I know this sounds foolish, but I feel extremely so. I wish that you'd come. I know that it's very impractical to bring you 1,700 miles just because I feel this way, but I've been wishing you were here for a couple of weeks and still do. Never, never have I felt so emotionally unbalanced. Please don't tell anyone. Maybe Daddy and Bud can understand knowing me. Why, oh why, do I have to be such a type to take everything so seriously? Always extremes. John's called his mom and she's coming over tonight, but of course we can't expect that all the time, and she can only come for a couple of days. I'll understand if it's impossible for you to come, but wanted you to know how I feel, since my mental telepathy doesn't seem to work. The baby is very sweet. I don't think I'm going to have enough milk for him, and never will, getting so emotionally upset this way. I love you, Ruth. P.S. This is just an example of the postpartum blues that I understand are common to every young mother. R.R. Not to be taken too seriously. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, December 2nd, 1952. Dearest Mother, yesterday was a real fall day and the lawn was green with squirrels playing in the yard, and this morning we awoke to several inches of beautiful soft snow with big white flakes gently falling, and the branches of the trees covered with snow, a beautiful sight. Yesterday was a gloomy day for Ruth, a postpartum blues day when I felt alone in the world. Today, with Mrs. Ray here, all is calm as the soft, snowy day. The note enclosed I decided not to send, for I don't need to send you a frantic note of appeal. It does only seem right, though, that you should be here to see your little grandson in his infant baby days that are fleeing so fast. Mr. and Mrs. Ray have noticed the change in him in the past week. He's gained so that he's outgrown his baby shirts, and already the nightie you sent is getting short, along with his other things. The hat Grandma sent was almost too small to bring him home from the hospital. He's a big, lovely boy with big blue eyes and a lovely complexion. It would be very, very nice if you could come down for even a couple of weeks before Christmas. I know that it's a very busy time for you, but life is so short not to be with those you love at such a fleeting and important time in our lives. And of course I have a selfish reason for wanting you with me, because I do get these tremendously lonesome spells. I do hope that maybe you could fly down. If not, I'll understand. Good night. Love, Ruth. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, December 9th, 1952. Dearest Mother and Dad, I was so glad to get your letters today and very sorry that I put you on the spot so and upset you. This certainly would be a very awkward time for you to leave, and more than likely this is something that I'll have to work out by myself. They say it's a glandular change that time alone takes care of, and Anne and Jer both have had similar reactions, and I understand it's quite common. Nice as it would be to have you here, I'll let you decide when and if it's convenient for you to come. I knew you were thinking of calling Sunday and almost felt like it myself. Anne and Wayne Duff had baby Paul christened Sunday and urged us to go down with all our other friends, but I didn't feel up to it, and the doctor suggested not taking the baby in crowds of people or groups nor travel that far. However, as soon as we get a carriage, I can go for walks, which will be good for me too, I guess. I've not felt like going anywhere nor seeing our friends, but the pressure is on, so it will probably be good for me too. Joan and Lenny were over Saturday night, and Bruce and Jer want to come Sunday, and Harold and Marge are coming from Marion, Ohio, one Saturday of the next two, and Mary is having a shower for Joan on the 27th, and the folks would like to have us down to Sandusky for Christmas. I guess we'll have to snap out of it. I have a supplementary formula if the baby seems to need it, and if he isn't getting enough from me. The doctor says we'll wean him to the bottle. However, first we're going to get scales and weigh before and after feeding to see if he's getting enough. So we'll see. Glad about your teeth, Dad. And so happy for Bud and Doris. Mark only took 1 ounce of the bottle I fixed last week, so maybe we'll be okay. I had a nice letter from Marion. She's been ill for a couple of weeks and wishes so much she'd have a baby. I have so much to be thankful for if I could only keep my perspective straight. John's mother was wonderful and stayed 4 days last week and says she'll come back for another couple if you don't come. She called Saturday to see how things were coming. Our snow disappeared and the green lawns appeared again. The squirrels are real aerialists on the wires as well as on the trees, real tightrope walkers. Mark seems to be getting big, a real kicker, and you'd almost think he could see you. Joan and Lenny thought he looked and acted much older than his 4 weeks. Muriel just called, and she's now weaning her baby to the cup at 7.5 months. She was very encouraging on the breastfeeding routine and successfully went through what we are now. Must go and get a rest on our new $80 mattress. Did I tell you that's what John's mom and dad have given us for Christmas? Ted Zook told us what kind to get for my back, and it's certainly wonderful. Don't worry about us. Merry Christmas, and we'll write soon. Lots of love, John, Ruth, and Mark D. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, December 30th, 1952. Dear Mother and Dad, we certainly want to thank you for the wonderful box of cookies and cute teddy bear and sweater for Mark. I've been wondering what these peak freens are that you so often mention and that Bud likes so well. When John opened them, he said that he'd never seen quite such a lush big box of cookies before, and we're certainly enjoying them. We enjoyed your long letter yesterday so much too, but so sorry to hear that you've been so sick. Why not have a complete physical and start taking iron again? With all the wonder drugs, it's a shame to have any cold drag on when they can be cured so quickly with aureomycin or one of the others. Expensive but worth it. Do take care of yourself. We had a wonderful Christmas. The pediatrician came out Friday before for Mark's 6 weeks checkup and said that he's a wonderful specimen. I asked if she didn't tell all the mothers that, and she said, "No, I don't." I'm still nursing Mark without the supplementary bottle, and he weighs 13 pounds, 12 ounces, a gain of 5 pounds in 6 weeks. He's taking vitamin drops and cereal, and in a couple of weeks we start vegetables, so hope I can continue the nursing. When I went to the doctor the day before Christmas, I left an 8-ounce bottle for him, and the lady said he took it all, and was hungry again when I came home 3 hours later. The bottle agreed with him. He's been sleeping through the night for a couple of weeks, which helps, except that he got off it for a couple of nights here. We opened our presents Christmas Eve and went next door for a short visit. Christmas Day we went to Sandusky and had a wonderful dinner, all the trimmings, and opened more gifts. Mark was very good, too. He's laughing so much now and really seems to recognize us. I think you're going to have a very handsome grandson, as he looks very much like John's baby pictures taken at the same age. We tried taking some of Mark Sunday, but don't think they'll do him justice, as he had his eyes closed. Hard to take a baby picture outdoors in winter, as well as the mattress. The folks gave us a diaper service, shoulder bag, suit for Mark, sleepers, kitchen things, stockings, underwear, and Dick gave us a lawnmower and Carol gave us snow shovel equipment. really taking care of us. Oh, yes, and a big box of candy, box of cookies, Christmas cake, nuts, jam, box of cigars. Grandma and Grandpa Zook sent a big box of pears, and several friends sent boxes for Mark, toys, suit, nylon, and plastic pants. He wore a pale green pear with stars on it and looked like a Christmas card on Christmas Day. Chris sent a doll for him, and Mrs. Martin sent long booties and mitts. No duty on any parcels except the 15-cent customs opening charge on each. The postman keeps putting in cards to collect 15 cents, and yesterday he asked if we got all the parcels that he collected for. Think so. Carol and Dick were there for Christmas dinner too. Carol got her diamond from Dave. Her mother still isn't too happy about it. Uncle Fred, Cynthia, and Helen were over to see the baby too. We had a real good time. Got back at 9:30 p.m., and I nursed him, and he slept until 8:30 a.m. Saturday night we went to Vince and Mary's party. It was so good to see Ann and talk baby talk. She had to stop nursing Paul as she only had an ounce or so of milk each time. They want us to go for New Year's Eve and stay all night, but I don't think we will. We had a very good time. I nursed Mark at 6:30, and he slept from 7 o'clock. When we got home, he hadn't moved a muscle, the lady said. Slept right through, so I wakened and nursed him at 1:30 a.m. Not a good idea, because the next night he wakened in the early morning again. Your life certainly gets centered around their eating and sleeping. The doctor says we can have another in 18 to 24 months. I still have some healing to do and have to take more iron. Incidentally, I asked you not to mention my blues, but you had to Mrs. Steele, so I guess to everyone else too? Ruth said Mrs. Nilsson thought the baby too big for the first one. Did I tell you that Dale had a baby girl, Lilla Dale, December 4th? I got quite a thrill to get cards from my old pupils. Even Bud Smith in Saskatoon, he was at the wedding, and my Indian Eugene DeRocher wrote a letter too. I'd like it back. I sent an announcement of the baby to school, so guess that's how they got the address. Shellshaw yet. We just got back from our ride in the carriage, and a lady we met said she thought he looked at least 4 months old. Well, hardly. We walked the 2 blocks to look at the lake the other day. Very nice to be near. It's hard to believe that it's our 30th anniversary. That it's your 30th anniversary. Tomorrow. Today. Well, hope you have a nice day, and sorry we missed it. Hope we have that many. John is so nice. I hate to see him go to work in the morning, and so glad when he comes home. Marion writes that she's been ill. Did I tell you she miscarried this summer? Must go. Take care of yourself. Lots of love, John, Ruth, and Mark. P.S. Congratulations, 30 years. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, January 5th, 1953. Dearest Mother, Dad, and Bud, thank you so for your nice Christmas parcel. It arrived with one from Bud and Doris on New Year's Eve, so we had sort of a second Christmas. The pajamas are very unusual. John says I look like Mrs. Santa Claus. Red isn't quite my color, though, but they are different. Thanks, too, for John's socks. Doris sent a very cute 3 tones of gray sweater. John really whistled when I wore it yesterday, and John's mother likes it too, so do I. The folks came over yesterday, and John's dad took 24 flash pictures of Mark. An expensive afternoon, but hope we get at least one to show how cute he is. He really started laughing after we'd shot them all. He's close to 15 pounds now, and the average baby weighs 14 at 5 months, and he was just 8 weeks yesterday. Seems like I've known him all my life. Looks like an old soul to me. He is just darling, to us anyway. Oh, I'd never mentioned how much I enjoyed the yellow sweater. So nice to have something new when I got home from the hospital, and good for nursing since it opened down the front. I'm still nursing him, and he's still gaining, so guess we're doing okay. He quit eating his cereal, acted like he didn't like it, but took it for John the other night and again today for me, so guess it was just temporary. I called the doctor Friday to see about starting vegetables. I'm so happy I've been able to nurse him up to now, and just pray we can keep it up. He's even slept 12 hours a couple of nights, but 7 or 8 are usually maximum without a feeding. We finally got our snow yesterday, but no white Christmas nor white New Year's. Did you say you'd send a baby book? John said he'd go to Burroughs and get one if not, for we're going to forget some of the things we want to remember if we don't record them. We also want to put some of his pictures in it if they're any good. Carol brought over a cute pair of brown plaid corduroy overalls and yellow sweater for Mark. It will really suit him. Joan and Lenny gave him some yellow ones, so he'll have a cute outfit for spring. Bud and Doris sent a brush and comb set since he didn't have one. Must go and rest now, so his lunch will be ready when he wakens. He's a hungry big boy, but after he nurses about 5 minutes he stops, looks up and smiles, eyes shining, and then goes back to nursing. A sweetheart. Thanks again for the parcel. Lots of love and take care. Love, John, Ruth, and Mark. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, January 8th, 1953. Dear Grandma and Grandpa, hi. Thought you might like to have a look at your big bouncing baby boy. He sure is progressing right along, and laughed out loud twice tonight, with John and I both listening. We were quite surprised, for they say not to expect that until much later. He's been smiling for several weeks and really gooing and carrying on quite a conversation with us. A terrific baby. Still nursing him successfully and hope we can keep it up. He's slept through 12 hours for quite a few nights. Hope he keeps that up too. Mr. and Mrs. Ray were certainly wonderful to take these. They bought a special flash camera just so we could get a record of Mark before he got older. John's still as busy as ever at work. Not having heard from you recently, I certainly hope that you're not ill or worse from your last bout. Do take care of yourself. Dale called today. She and Dan are back in town. She wants to bring her baby girl over to see Mark and, quote, strike up a romance. Do right and hope you like your grandson. Love, John, Ruth, and Mark D. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history. If this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, and photographs, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive, you might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 602 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. You also might consider checking out our podcast, Adventures in History. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.